A crow was very sad with its life. It felt abandoned, unloved, often chased away, and never had enough food. The feeling of being neglected made it think that death would be better than living in this despair. One day, while crying under a tree, an old monk sitting beneath the tree heard the crow's sobs. Seeing this, the monk asked, "Why are you crying?" The crow told the monk about its suffering, loneliness, and how no one cared. After listening, the monk said, "You must learn to be content with what you have, because happiness doesn't come from seeking what you don't have, but from accepting what you do." However, the crow didn't understand the monk's words and remained sad. The monk then said, "If you want, I can transform you into a swan. But before you decide, go and ask other birds if they are happy." The crow decided to go and began its journey to find a happier bird. The crow flew to a pond and met a swan, the most beautiful bird it had ever seen. The swan's feathers were as white as snow, and everyone adored it. The crow saw this beauty and said, "Oh, you are so beautiful. You must be the happiest bird in the world because everyone loves you." However, the swan didn't seem happy and replied, "Thank you, but I am not happy. Even though I look amazing, I only have one plain color. On the other hand, I think the parrot must be the happiest bird with its many vibrant colors." The crow was surprised and decided to continue its journey. Next, the crow flew to meet a parrot. Upon seeing the parrot's colorful feathers, the crow said, "Oh, you are so beautiful. You must be the happiest bird because everyone loves you." The parrot shook its head and said, "No, I am not happy. Although I am beautiful, I am always kept in a cage, always afraid, and never free. I think the peacock must be the happiest bird because it has the most beautiful feathers of all of us." The crow continued searching for happiness and finally reached a zoo where a peacock was kept in a glass cage. The crow said, "You are so beautiful. You must be the happiest bird." The peacock sadly replied, "I used to think I was the most beautiful and happiest bird. But now I realize that although people come to see me every day, I cannot be free. And when they pluck my feathers to make decorations, it hurts. If I were as free as you, I would be much happier." After hearing the peacock's words, the crow suddenly realized something important. Even though it felt its life was miserable and no one loved it, it turned out that it was the only bird not trapped in a cage or zoo. It didn't have to worry about being caught or having its feathers pulled out in pain. The crow felt free and at ease, able to fly anywhere without restrictions. Suddenly, it felt a sense of happiness fill its heart. With this new perspective, the crow flew back to meet the monk. This time, it was no longer sad, but felt peaceful and content with itself. The crow said to the monk, "Master, I don't want to be a swan or a peacock. I am happy with what I have. I now understand that happiness doesn't come from becoming someone else, but from accepting and loving myself." The monk smiled and said, "Yes, that's right. When you learn to appreciate what you have, you will find true happiness." The crow's story carries an important lesson. Don't compare yourself with others. When we constantly look at what others have that we don't, we can easily fall into unhappiness. True happiness comes from being content with what we have, rather than longing for things out of our reach. Everyone has their own unique qualities, and instead of always seeking perfection through the eyes of others, we need to learn to love and accept ourselves. Thank you for listening to the story. Please like and subscribe to hear more meaningful stories.